Welcome to a Skyrim Addict podcast, where I will discuss my adventures and misadventures through Skyrim. Join me. Add your stories. Add your tales. Let's get into this thing.
Hello, everybody. This is Victor here with Colin on the next installment, or the current installment of our chats about Skyrim. Hey, Colin, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you very much, sir. And you?
I am okay, as usual.
Not bad than Andrew, anyway.
Well, yeah, poor guy. Oh my God, I hope that wasn't self-inflicted. That's the worst, if you get food poisoning and you did it to yourself. But yeah, he seems better today, though. So we both had lots of adventures in Skyrim over the last week. I should say I have actually gotten back into Fallout 4 as well, for reasons we'll discuss a little bit later. So I've been playing a lot of that, as well as a few other games. But you're still playing Requiem, right?
Yes, I'm still doing my my Requiem playthrough. It's quite enjoyable. I'm getting myself back in myself. Are you getting that?
No, I don't hear it at all.
Let me close out Facebook. Am I still getting it? No, I'm not getting it anymore.
Okay, cool.
Nice. Yes, so I've been still enjoying my Requiem playthrough. I've got it in another window here. Where is it? I am currently in Angravund. I think I was talking about it on the last episode where I was doing it. That was the last, I think, little quest that I'd done with my Percus Maximus character. Same thing, I got a note through saying to go and look for the power that's inside that dungeon.
Oh, because you shouted somewhere in town or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly the same. So yeah. I've just done that with my Requiem character. He's currently level 22. And I'm level 49 in Conjuration. And what he's done is, it was all the perks that go along and they go in steady increments. But once you hit 50, there's like 5 perks you can get in the Conjuration tree.
Oh, wow.
So I've been building them all up. I've got 4 perks I can invest. So
nice.
Storing them up.
I never got that far in Requiem, so I envy you. That's quite a slog, though. Not a slog, but it's a longer process to get even to level 22 in Requiem, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the leveling is a lot slower.
Yeah.
But and plus you'll have to spend your all your sort of to help you out. Because I've been spending perks all over the place. I've got a couple in Restoration, most in Conjuration, couple in Smithing.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 3 in Heavy Armor? I've got 4 in Marksmanship. Because I have been really enjoying the crossbow. That's what I've been using.
Huh.
Yeah, loving the crossbow. And he's got a perk that's level 60.
Huh.
And it's I'm currently level 40, but at level 60, it's called Rapid Reload.
Oh, nice.
You have familiarized with the mechanics of your crossbow, and it uses us to reload it significantly faster.
One wonders how significantly faster it is.
Yes. So I'm going to put that to the test. That word significantly.
I think there was a similar one in Skyrim, maybe. I seem to remember something like that somewhere else, or some kind of faster reload. Maybe it was vanilla Skyrim, but it was kind of brain dead or something. I don't remember. But that sounds good. Is it? I mean, do you feel like the crossbows in Requiem are better overall?
Yeah, he's got some great perks that start off to do some serious damage. And it goes well with the Conjuration because I have Lydia and then I'll have whatever I've summoned to keep the things busy, keep them away. And then even though I'm going really slow, like, the pulling back of the whatever it's called, of the spring or whatever it is that fires the bolt. That takes a lot of stamina, and it's quite slow.
Uh-huh.
So, when you're drawing back on the bow, that takes a lot of stamina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In Requiem, when firing it doesn't take a lot of stamina, but after you fired it and then you're pulling the lever back again to fire a second time, it eats up a lot of stamina.
Really?
So yeah, but when it hits, it does some serious damage. I finally went into I've forgotten the name of it now. The place where you get the fiery soul trap. Enchantment.
Is that the? No, that's. Oh no, I was going to say the halted stream, but that's another thing. Yeah, I don't remember where that is. Michael knows because he always goes for that.
There we go. Ironbind Barrow.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where you have the lizard and Salma, the red guard, I think she is. And they're running in there ahead of you, or with you, alongside you, clearing everything through. So there was 4 of us running through there. And right at the very end, Beamja is supposed to turn on you, isn't he? Because he's looking to get the power of Gallicus or something like that.
Right, yeah.
Gathric, that's it. He's looking for the power of Gathric. And he's supposed to turn on you, but the idiot ran up and tried to take Gathric head on, and Gathric one-shotted him.
Oh, no.
So it didn't have the thing to... So he died in mid-battle. There was only me, Lydia, and Salma left at the end of the fight, which was really decent. Yeah.
That's great. Do you find in Requiem now that you're progressed farther than we were the last time that how do you find your like leveling your attributes? Is it even across the board, or do you find you have to level stamina much more than anything else because of the way Requiem handles stamina?
I've stopped investing in stamina. I got it up to. Give me a sec. I'll tell you. I've got a game open here. I stopped at 125 stamina, which is actually quite low for somebody in heavy armor. But I keep on investing in Magicka so I can do more stuff. Health is only at 100. It started at 90, so I put 4 points into health, and then the rest is all into Magicka because I've got the Mage Stone, which doesn't let you learn faster. It increases your Magicka. So I think it gives you an extra 100. I've currently got 380 with my enchantments on top.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. It's and the leveling is much smaller increments. So I'm not sure how that plays out way at the end of the game. I mean, whether you're expected to concentrate on one or use a lot of enchantments and things to boost your attributes or what. I guess I'm not really clear on what he sort of envisioned towards the late game level 50 plus kind of thing. But since I rarely get up that high in any of my games, I rarely ever think about it. So what's your plan? Are you going to, you're going to keep this up for a while with Requiem?
Yeah, I like the looks of the end perks. I think I might continue to go through because I want to start taking on dragons, and there is absolutely no possible way of taking on proper dragons. As I said, the first one at the Broken Tower, that one was a wounded dragon, and I think wounded was bad. I think he got pissed and flew into a mountain or something like that, and was on his last legs when he came down because was it all the dragons? He's just leveled them and say, right, that's a level, and that's what I was telling you earlier on where. Requiem violated my my Skyrim, my PC Skyrim, because I was coming out of Whiterun and I was running down past. It was on the way to Rorikstead.
Okay.
And there's a broken quest in Requiem, something about a burning cart or something like that.
Really? Huh.
And it a dragon spawns at that cart. So that cart will show up, and then it'll be all on fire, and there'll be dead bodies all around it. And it turns out that it was this dragon that killed everybody. But the only thing is that he was a legendary dragon.
Oh boy! Oh no!
But it was a bugged legendary dragon, so it was flying around and it missed me. I managed to summon up a creature, so it shot its whatever it was, its shout at that instead of at me, and then it landed, and then it instantly died.
Wow! And this is all a documented Requiem bug.
Yeah, I found it. I can't remember where it was. It was from one of the forums.
Huh.
And what happened after that was the violation. Was it came up, achievement: you defeated a legendary dragon.
Oh no! Oh no! So now you gotta. Oh, that sucks.
Without landing a shot, without even hitting it, while I was running away screaming, basically.
Oh no!
Gave me the achievement of I killed a legendary dragon. So,
and you can't take away achievements, can you? They're permanent.
No. Yeah, they're permanent. Once it goes through, it's gone. So.
Oh well.
Sailor V.
Yeah. Well, you'll. I'm sure you've killed legendary dragons before, right?
Not in my PC game,
right?
Not in my Xbox game, because I haven't got a character high enough in any of my games on the PC to get a legendary dragon spawn.
Right. Are you using a dragon mod in this playthrough?
No, I've left it all to him.
It's all Requiem. Yeah, that's. I thought you said that last time. Yeah.
Yeah, because I got a quest to go to Ancient. This is my first bout with a proper dragon. I got the quest to go to Ancient's Ascent down in Falkreath, and instead of going up through that little cave.
Mm-hmm.
And then coming back out to right below where he is, I was doing the Hercene quest, the werewolf. What was it? Ill Met by Moonlight.
Right.
And I was chasing that god awful stag all over bloody.
Oh no! Really?
All over the yeah.
Holy mackerel!
All the way around the back, as if I'm heading out to that vampire castle right at the back. Past where
Bloodlet Throne, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm on the back there. So I finally kill it right on the edge of that mountain. And I thought, well, you know what? I could sneak up on this dragon and get the drop on him. And I peeked over the corner and I was like, wait, what kind of dragon was that? And he was golden.
Ooh.
And I remember golden dragons are like elder dragons and bloody revered dragons. So I sort of like crept back away from the peak of the mountain, got back on my horse and legged it.
Yeah, step away from the cliff. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I guess that is the sort of the what's the word, the beauty in some ways of living in an unleveled world where you find stuff that you just simply can't defeat and you have to retreat. That's cool, because I mean I'm surprisingly enough, I know you're going to be flabbergasted. Just hold on to your chair. I've started another new character, and I just went through Bleak Falls Barrow at level 2. So that's impossible in Requiem, or pretty much impossible. So there is a certain elegance to the way he's done things in that mod.
How did you find it? What's your new character? Let's start at the beginning. I decided finally it was time for me to purchase a desktop gaming PC, so I did. It's semi beastly. It's not like high end. It doesn't have a 980 Ti in it or anything like that, but it's got a good fast i7 processor and a 970. And lots of it's a 4 gig 970 and a bunch of system RAM. So it's pretty good. So rather than
trying to migrate a lot of the stuff over from my laptop, which I still intend to. Some of those games I don't intend to leave orphaned at all. It's all installed there, and I can pipe the laptop video over into the new monitor. So eventually I'll play some of those. But instead of migrating everything over, I decided to start downloading everything fresh. So I did. So I created a couple of test characters first, testing out lots of graphics mods and things, some stuff new to me and some stuff old. And so my test guy was Butch McBurley, and he was just a
I love your name.
he was just a beefy Nord, and so we traipsed around Skyrim for a while, and of course I am experimenting a lot with this awesome mod called Dindalod, which is semi-complex to run and use, and I've learned a lot about it just over the last 48 hours even. Figuring out what will make it kick up its little feet and die, and what you can do to avoid that and stuff. And it's a lot of fun. It's once you have it out there and working, it just makes the world just so much more pleasing to look at, I guess is the best way to put it. It just adds so many little tiny things into the distance without having to resort to system killers and save killers like increasing your UGrid settings and stuff like that, for people who know what that means. And I coupled Dindalod this time with a new landscape mod, to me anyway, not new to the modding world. It's called Enhanced Landscapes. Have you ever checked that out? It's really nice. It adds a lot of overall stuff, little details, and I talked about Simply Bigger Trees last time, and I love Simply Bigger Trees, but it's kind of redundant in this case. So with Enhanced Landscapes does increase the tree size a little bit, not as much as the SkySight mod does, but it increases a little bit, adds some grasses and things, adds some stuff, adds also some of its own distant LODs and things. But that coupled with Dindalod when it's up and running is just amazing. So the character, and now let me just get into the MCM here for a second. Come on, honey. There we go. Of course, I've got a ton of mods as usual. So other new ones that to me that I'm playing with, I've added outside of Perma. I've added Winter Mist to this one, so I'm going to be using that's an enchantment mod, and really a shout out to this modder whose name is virtually unpronounceable, Inais Eisen or something like that. He or she has created Winter Mist, Thunderchild Shouts, Imperious Races, just a huge body of work and it's all just pretty much awesome stuff. And so I've added most of those to this. And then I decided to sort of take my life into my hands, and I loaded in Civil War Overhaul. And well, it really requires a brand new game. Absolutely 100% requires a brand new game. You can't add it to an existing save. So if you're going to use it at all, you got to start a new game with it. So I decided, okay, here's a chance to do it. And so I added that in, and then a mod, two mods by My Good Eye, one called War Zones, and the other one's called War Zones Assault Attack. Now there's some pretty cool stuff. And I'm just actually watching one of these events happen right now in Whiterun. So in Warzone / Assault Attacks, he adds a whole bunch of NPCs that are what's the best way to describe them? they're specifically Civil War oriented. For instance, I just came out of Dragon's Reach after delivering the Dragonstone, and there are two guards. Both of them in standard Whiterun garb, fighting on the bridge outside the door to Dragon's Reach. One of them is a Stormcloak spy. And I've seen these Stormcloak spies running around Tamriel or around Skyrim before. It just and this is added by this War Zones mod now, by the Salt Attack mod, I believe. And so it's pretty cool. So there's all kinds of stuff like that. You can wander into a place, and particularly once you've picked your faction in the Civil War, you can just be instantly attacked by people of the opposite faction. So it's kind of cool. It just adds some more life to the whole world, and so I'm really enjoying that. I haven't gotten that far. I'm only level 2, like I said, so it's not. But it's kind of cool, and I have added some cool little mods that I found, and one of them is called is it Imperial Mail Service? Have you seen that?
I think no, sorry. The one I'm talking about is the Imperial Courier. It's there's was it the newspaper? That's the one I'm thinking of. Which one is this one?
Okay, well, Imperial. I think it's called Imperial Mail. Let me just check that again. I think there's an MCM for this. It is essentially, Imperial Mail. So what it allows you to do is you go to. There's an Imperial Mail service in pretty much every. I think it's in almost every, at least vanilla. It was certainly vanilla ends in the game. I'm not sure about mod added ends, but. And you set up an account with the Imperial Mail Service. It gives you a passbook, and then as soon as you've set it up, a little sign appears on the outside of the inns that are members of the Imperial Mail. It says Imperial Mail drop off or something like that. And so what you do is, if you have items that you don't want to traipse around Skyrim with, you go into any inn that offers the service, and you go to the innkeeper and you say, I'd like to deposit something in the Imperial Mail, and it gives you a little dialogue in a box that charges you, depending on how many items you send, charges you 10, 15, 20 septims per, and then you can send them to whatever other inn in Skyrim happens to have the service, and it will appear there when you arrive. It's very cool. So, it's one of these little things like Simply Knock, that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, where it just adds one of these, just a little tiny, extra to the game. It's very cool. I was really, really I thought it was great. So that's Imperial Mail. What else did I add into this game? It's hugely modded. It's like totally. I'm expecting it to fall apart by level 20, but we'll see. And level 20 if I'm lucky. But I'm trying to hold to your rule of starting out with a set of mods and not fucking with it, which I find very difficult to do. But I'm gonna try to hold.
You wanted to get everything in there before.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, specifically with a mod like Civil War Overhaul, which really does get its little fingers, like the Civil War quest in the vanilla game is extremely complex, and so any little changes in that is just death. So and I had some trouble with that, in particular War Zones, and getting even Dindalod to work, which is strictly a graphics a dynamic graphics, I don't know if you'd call it a patch, but a mod that's created on the fly through TS5 Edit, and even that will choke on some things related to world space, and stuff like that. So I had to do a lot of Googling, which was fun. So I'm trying to think of what else is new in my Skyrim world here. That's about it, really. So yeah, I had progressed a little bit with my Requiem character, and I had kind of given up on my perma character, but this one I'm hoping to be able to take to a level that I haven't really gone to with Skyrim in a long time, since the round table, actually. I mean, that was the last character that I took anything close to level 30 or 35 or something like that before the round table ended.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That I think Jonaria on my PC, I think I got her onto a level that I could have spawned a legendary dragon, but never did.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you have elemental dragons?
Yeah, or no, back then it would have been deadly dragons.
Deadly dragons. Okay. Which
Maybe
characters do you have your elemental dragons?
That's my perma character.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I actually loaded elemental dragons into this, so I'm right at the point where I'm heading to the Western Watchtower. So we'll see what elemental dragons throws at me for the first dragon fight. Especially at level 2, I think I'll be cowering in the tower for a while. But
yeah, because he has. Well, I don't want to spoil it for you. But, I was going to say I'm having a little bit of a trouble now. I'm running around. Where am I? Shroud Half Barrow.
Where's that?
It's the one in Iverstead.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, the one
right
with the guy who plays a ghost or something like that.
Yeah, with Windelius.
Yeah.
And I popped in there, and then we carried on. We went on to Agravund, and then I just started doing Angravund or whatever it was called. And I realized that Lydia no longer has Dawnbreaker with her.
Oops.
Damn it. And I found the Meridia, and it was the Meridia's beacon. And around about level 20, which is quite high, so he must have fiddled with it. Because usually you get it a lot earlier than that. Yeah. And so I got Meridia's beacon, so I went up. I was halfway there anyway. I was in the Reach. And I didn't have a lot of fun in the Reach, I gotta say.
In Requiem? That's funny, because that's we talked about that the last time. That's where I found I could actually make progress in the Reach, because it seemed like he had reduced the
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that.
Okay.
Being a Breton, I didn't like the fact that he was nerfed, shall we say, the Forsworn. Plus, it all came down to something kind of like he was there, like, out to make money. And, when he was, after having a good think about it, it was like, it's too much politics, These guys are just, like, as you said, hill barbarians. But then he went in and he spoke to Madnak, and he ended up joining with Madnak. And sort of like, then they left. And then he said, like, we'll go out here, we'll clear a name. They'll know that it was us, and sort of like, we're taking back the Reach and blah, blah, blah. But just be so warned that, like, every Forsworn is going to be out to kill everything. So, keep your guard about you in the Reach from now on. And then they went outside, and then all of them, even including Madnak, all got decimated by the town guards.
Yeah, that happened to in mine too, because I ended up doing something similar. But yeah, it was like they all died.
Yeah,
which was kind of weird.
Yeah, Madnak got the furthest. He got to the front gate, and then a guard killed him. But everybody else,
that's a balance issue with Requiem.
Well, the way he has it is that the town guards are highly trained. Because I think the guards in any town are like level 25, level 30 or something like that.
Are they? I never looked into that. It's interesting.
Don't mess with the town guards. Don't mess with Imperial soldiers or Stormcloaks or the Thalmor. They're highly trained soldiers. And they're very high level. Don't mess with them.
Yeah. Well, in Requiem, yeah. Well, the Thalmor usually are anyway, aren't they? I mean, they're usually yeah. So, well, Murmulnir was not much of a fight here at the Western Watchtower. Maybe that's because I'm so low level that he's very low leveled. He just died rather quickly. Poor guy. I always feel bad for Murmelnir. You know, he's like the first dragon to come out, and he's the first one that's like walks out the door and slam, done. poor guy. You know. Oh well. But so yeah, I always feel bad for him. It's funny. I was speaking of. So I went into to Bleak Falls Barrow at level just above level 1. I think I leveled up as I was walking in the door or something after I killed some of those bandits outside. And so I'm making my way down through Bleak Falls Barrow, and I find this scroll. It's called Conjure Gateway Wraith. Now, I looked it up later, and Conjure Gateway Wraith is a master level conjuration spell added by Apocalypse. And since I've used it, and I can't remember exactly, the scroll itself, I think, was slightly different, but basically it makes it allows you to cast unlimited. It conjures a wraith that I should look it up. That makes conjuration spells cost 0, and the wraith reflects whatever you have in your, armed, whatever spell you have. And I've got this spell. It's also an Apocalypse spell called Cinder, which is a pretty cool fireball spell, which interestingly enough has a sort of an arrow-like, a heavy arrow-like trajectory. It has weight to it, so it just doesn't float along like some of the other spells do. So you can't fire it from too far away, or it just sinks to the floor. but it also I've had it hit the floor at the foot of a Draugr or something like that, and it still burns the Draugr. It's kind of a cool spell. Anyway, so I had that. So I get down to the end of Bleak Falls Barrow, and I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm going to use this Conjure Gateway Wraith, scroll. It seems kind of cool. But I was kind of expecting to die a couple times because, even at level 2, even in a leveled world like that, that overlord or whatever he is can be tough. So I grabbed the word and I invoke the scroll, and this wraith appears to my left, and the Draugr overlord comes popping out of his sarcophagus, and I dodge to the right, and he comes running over towards me, and I look over, and all of a sudden he just like goes, the wraith shoots a fireball at him. He goes flying by me, hits the wall, and dies. It was like I was like, oh, okay.
Don't fuck with that guy.
Don't fuck with that wraith, man. So I all right, well, I can accept that.
Did he give you the John Wayne? Did he look at you and go, you call me out here for this shit, and I'm going back to bed?
Yeah. I sure hope I got paid the contract rate for that one. Yeah. So he died. So I got a good laugh out of that. But so I collected the Dragon Stone and went on my way. But it was good. But I'd never seen that scroll before, or that I didn't even know about the spell, because I don't think I've ever reached master level of conjuration in any of my playthroughs. So I've never. Did you ever use it?
No, I don't have Apocalypse in this one or the one before. But there is I've forgotten the name of it now. There's the master level conjuration perk in Perma. There's one where you can open an Oblivion Gate.
Ooh.
And that's one of the master level ones. The level 100, you open an Oblivion Gate, and just this endless stream of summoned creatures comes flying out of it and attacks everything.
Ooh.
And I was really looking forward to getting that. Hopefully, I can get back into my Perma playthrough at one point to get up to that.
Yeah, that's a lot. I've put in Ordinator in this one, so I'm using that. I didn't want to get involved in all the patching necessary for Perma or Skyrim, or certainly not Requiem with all the other mods I have loaded in here. I wanted something simple. Oh, by the way, and that's Ordinator is also by that same mod author, Inai Seisan. So it's Ordinator and Imperius and Winter Mist, and just amazing body of work.
Busy guy.
Yeah, and a really, really good programmer, obviously, because I've never had a single bit of trouble with any of his or her mods. They all just work, without any bullshit. The other little mod that I haven't had a chance to try it out yet because I don't own a house yet, but I found one called Rent My House. So and I gather once you own, it has to be vanilla houses, I think, but once you own one or two properties like that, you can, you want to live in one, you can rent one of them out. So that seemed kind of cool too. So I'm going to try that out. I like these little tiny mods. I think they make the game more fun.
Yeah, I see. With Rec Room, he includes lots of little mods from other players and has put it in his game. So because there's I forgot the name of it now. Lost to the Ages quest. You know that?
Yeah, the Ethereum Forge is that the one? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if you're doing a Rec Room playthrough, don't start it until you're like level 60 or something. I went in there and the farmer are like, I think, master alchemists. They have horrific poisons because I don't know whether you do know, but in the vanilla game they poison you when they hit you. And in his game, pretty much they're all master alchemists. So they've got really good healing potions on them, usually good or surpassing, and all their poisons kill me instantly. So I can't get hit by a farmer sword or an arrow because first they paralyze you and then you slowly die.
Oh, okay. I remember because I forget where I was. Obviously, I was in the Reach because of all the Forsworn I was killing in my Requiem game. But yes, I went into a couple of caves with Falmer, and yeah, every single arrow just paralyzes you for a little bit, unless you have a resist poison potion or two or something like that. Yeah, I guess I didn't make that connection.
He's put a couple of spells in there, and he's even got one for your follower as well. So it's like the heal other spell, but it's like a poison protection spell for your follower, and obviously one for yourself. But I was doing the Lost of the Ages, so I was going through, and the farmer are a bit of a pain, but I managed to get through them, staying well back. Died a few times, but got all the way up to the top. And there was this huge sphere waiting outside, and its name was Enchanted Sphere, or Enchanted Dwarven Sphere. And basically, nothing hurt him. Nothing. Excuse me 1 second, I'm going to... Nothing hurt him apart from serious shock damage. That's the only thing that can hurt him. You need to keep him constantly on the shock damage. And I've got one of my spells is a summon skeletal warlock.
Uh-huh.
The only problem is that you can't control which warlock comes up because you summon one and he'll have a frost spell. You summon him the next time and he'll have a flame cloak, and then you'll summon him again and then he'll have a shock cloak and he'll shoot out ice spikes. But you can't control which one. It's just random, whichever one wants to show up at that particular given moment. So, plus he takes about 3 hits from this sphere, and he disappears. So, but you have what's her name, Katria, with you, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, Katria. Yeah.
So, Katria, the thing with undead. What's the thing about undead in Rec Room? Is that they can't be hurt unless it's by magic or silver.
Right, yeah.
So those two, her and the Dwarven Sphere, get in a fight, a fist, sort of like a melee fight, one-on-one. She's not doing any damage to him. He's not doing any damage to her. And I just stop, put my hands away. I stroll in. I pick up all the stuff.
That's awesome.
And then stroll out as those two are going at it, not doing near a bit of damage to either one of them. And I was screaming back, "Listen, I'm going to go and see if somebody wants to summon Storm Atronach scroll, and I'll be back." And so I left, and I went to a few places, but I couldn't find a summon Atronach, Storm Atronach scroll. So I'm going to have to wait until I get high enough conjuration to be able to summon my own one.
Do you think she's locked in with that battle, and she's not going to go out and let you progress the quest?
No, because I didn't pick up the Ethereum shard.
Oh, how come?
Because if I did, it would either sort of like lock the quest off because she wouldn't be able to come out of that fight. Because you need to talk to her to progress the quest. She won't leave while she's still locked in battle with her.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I got that. That quest is a slightly buggy, but in sort of a relatively vanilla form. I think it was my Slythe Aaron playthrough that I got bugged out on me. So you couldn't even. Does that sphere replace the Centurion that's usually there?
No, this sphere was waiting outside.
Wait, outside, okay.
Yeah, because I was able to do the things in order to open the gate. Right. Yeah, I was able to get through that. And then inside, and this is where I found he was using stuff from other people's mods that he must have requested and added, is that there's this thing called the Ethereum armor set. Ooh. And it's basically a dwarven armor set that's all made from Ethereum. It has Ethereum powers. And there's this, and I think he's put one piece at each of the locations of where you can find the Ethereum shards. So I found this helmet there, and it's got blue eyes. It has 2 blue soul gems stuck in the eyes, and they glow.
Ooh.
And he's closed off. You know where you have that gaping mouthpiece with the line going through the middle on the dwarven helmets?
Yeah.
He's closed that off, so it's a proper knight's helmet, but it's still in the dwarven sort of shape. It looks really, really cool. The only problem is that he fucked it on purpose, so nobody would ever want to wear it. He has put an enchantment on a couple which are really good, and then there's one that completely ruined it for everybody. Why he done it, I don't know. Let me put it on here. I'll take it off of Lydia and put it on, because it won't tell you what the effects are until you wear it yourself and then go into your active effects. So the really good enchantments are increases magic resistance by 5%. Mm-hmm. And then the other good ones are increases your magicka by 50 points and allows you to keep your focus while running and even when hit. And it also increases the damage dealt by ranged weapons by 20%. And then he went and ruined it by saying that allows to see in the dark. He has put the Khajiit night vision on it permanently.
Oh.
Permanently. So I can't toggle it on and off, so it permanently has that Khajiit night vision.
Oh, that's awful. I hate that. With all that kind of wavy kind of look to it. Yeah. Oh, that sucks. I hope it's worth something that you can sell it.
I have Lydia wearing it. She looks really cool.
She's not complaining about the night vision.
No, she kind of keeping a trap shot about that. But sort of like, suffering. She carries my burdens and my crappy gear now as well.
That sucks. That's
really?
A little odd too. I'm surprised. It must have sounded like a good thing on paper, but it just, oh well.
I know he likes to balance things, like, how you were saying how to get to do smithing is a nightmare in it because it just takes you forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind that, because to be able to get up to, I think I'm level 28 smithing now, I had to make loads of helmets and bows and arrows and things like that. So I had to actually do forging and working on equipment and, yes, grinding. Mm-hmm. You have to make armor again and again and again to increase your smithing, instead of just doing stuff at the smelter and doing stuff on I forgot the name of it now. The leather working.
Uh-huh. The tanning rack, yeah.
The tanning rack. So you have to actually do actual smithing to get any increase in the skill. So I finally get to level 25, so it allows me to take dwarven smithing. And then he kicks me in the nuts again because you can't smelt any just dwarven metal down. You can't just smelt it down like you can in vanilla. What you have to do is that you have to make dwarven dust. And to make dwarven dust, you have to have a gold ingot, fire salts, and dwarven oil.
Oh my god.
And that will make you 15 pieces of dwarven dust. And the bag of 15 dwarven dust, every time you break something down to turn it into a dwarven ingot, costs one of those dwarven dust. So if I do the solid dwemer metal where it gives me 5 bars of, I will use 5 fire salts or 5 dwarven powder.
Wow.
So now, luckily, I done the mine. You know, the one that's out by Mark Arthur with all the gold in it.
Mm-hmm.
Colts Gega mine. I done that. Cleared out the fourth one from there. Done that one, and you got a crap ton of gold in there. And so I had plenty of gold. That wasn't the issue. It's the fire salts and the dwarven oil that's hard to come by.
Yeah, you got to do a lot of Dwemer ruins to pick up a lot of oil. It's the fire salts are even harder. There's at least one alchemy mod that allows you to create fire salts, but you have to be fairly high level and you need a lot of ingredients to do it. But otherwise, yeah, besides flame atronachs, where do you find fire salts? On the shelves in various dungeons and things?
Yeah, I did do, and it's not for the faint of heart, Sunderstone Gorge.
Where's that?
It's in, I've forgotten the name, Falkreath, at the edge. It's near where the Orc mine is. It's right at that crossroad. So you've got.
Yeah, I know the area. I forget the name of I always call it malachite. What's that orc metal that you mine?
Orichalcum.
Orichalcum, yeah, malachite. But yeah, okay, I know where. I know where it is, sort of.
Yeah, give me a second. I'll go to my map and there we go. I found it. So Sunderstone Gorge is opposite Fort Sunguard.
Yeah.
And Bile Gulch Mine.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
yeah.
right around
the path there. Yeah. Okay. I like Fort Sunguard. That's a great location. I'd love to make that into a player home. It's really cool.
Yeah, but there's so many parts to it. You've got the Munster, the Leinster, the oubliette, everything.
Yeah. Well, the oubliette is great to throw your enemies in. You know, that's what it's there for.
In this Sunderstone Gorge, there was a couple of flame atronachs in there, and that's where you get the fire breath shout. So you get one of them from Parthenax, you get one from here, and then the other one I think is in the Companion's Quest, the first dungeon you go in with Farkas.
Okay. Yep.
So if you want all your fire breaths, to max it out, it's in Sunderstone Gorge, Parthenax, and do the Companion's Quest, and then you can get all the fire breaths.
Yeah.
But
still,
in there,
fire salts, that's tough. I think I saw the dust in either an inventory or in some. I think you can buy it, can't you? Did he add it to the vendor lists?
I didn't see it anywhere.
Maybe not. Okay. I saw it somewhere. Maybe I saw it in a crafting menu that I couldn't do, but I saw it as an item, and I had no idea what it was for. That's really. Are there other metals that you can only forge with other kinds of dust?
No, well, the Orichalcum, the one for Orcish armor, which is after the Dwarven, I've been breaking down Orcish weapons into Orichalcum without any bother.
Huh.
For some reason, he just done it to Dwarven. I don't know why.
Oh, probably because it sounded good.
Yes. That's what I'm thinking.
Lore friendly or whatever, or lore-ish. Interesting, though. There's a lot of thought went to it. So, I mean,
But one thing I did like when I was doing I forgot my name of it now, the Meridia quest to go in and get Dawnbreaker, which I hope I can find. This is a giant pain.
Yeah, where would that have gone? Holy mackerel.
Yeah, I think she got hit with a disarm shout, then just obviously just left it. I mean, that's why. Oh, that's what I wanted to moan about. I wanted to moan about EFF.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Right now, EFF. He done a great thing. Whatchamacallit? He allows your followers to recharge their own weapons with soul gems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, awesome. Apart from Lydia used like 3 black soul gems which had common souls in them.
Ouch.
Thank you very much, dude. With AFT, he lets you turn that off.
Yeah. Don't you have? Don't you? You don't use either of the 2 soul gem mods? Because I always use those. I think that the vanilla game's propensity for loading, high level soul gems with low level souls is just stupid. So
I just didn't load it because I was trying to keep as low as order as possible in record. I just didn't want to be. Well, actually, I was just too lazy. I couldn't be bothered to put anything else in. I got what I wanted in there, and then I just wanted to play, so I just started playing.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, even if they had black souls in them, full grand souls, she would have used them to charge her weapon up.
That's true. Yeah.
It's just that really annoyed me. And then there was something else. I can't remember. There was something else with EFF, and it really annoyed me as well. So
I'm finding. I mean, I've sort of pretty much converted to using it, but then I haven't gotten that deeply into managing my followers with it a whole lot more than just looking at their stats to know what they're good for or good at. But beyond that, it just seems more stable, and it's certainly more. It's more recently supported than AFT, unfortunately.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about AFT is that he does that wait and be passive thing and everybody knows my feelings on that. So after my tirade the last time, I think it was on a Fallout feed. I think it was. I said that.
I don't remember that. What was it? Briefly.
In Fallout 4, if you tell somebody to wait.
They range out of bounds, sort of thing.
No, I tell them to wait there and don't move, so I can go up and snipe something. But if an enemy starts attacking them, they just stand there and let the enemy beat them down to nothing.
Oh, okay.
Until I tell them to start, being active again, which is just stupid.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was doing the Meridia quest, and I got down to and he's overloaded. You have those corrupted souls that are floating around. Yep. Well, instead of 10 being in there, there's about 50. And every room is overloaded with about 20 of them. 10 to 20 of all these souls are just relentless. They're weak, but they're relentless. They're endless. They just keep on coming at you. And but I finally get through them, get down to the very last room, and what's his name? Old Malkoran starts giving me a kicking. Basically, he's just one-shotting me with this Drain Life spell.
Drain Life?
Drain Life. Because, it's usually Frost.
He's Frost. Yeah, he's a Frost wizard or something like that, yeah.
So he's hitting me with this Drain Life spell, instantly sucks all the life out of me, and I just fall over dead. And this happens about 4 or 5 times until I finally, get it in the position of where I can shoot at him with my crossbow with a really fantastic poison that I pulled off of Falmer. And I hit him with it, and right back at you, dude. I one-shotted him.
All right.
See, that's what's great about Requiem. He could one-shot me, but I can also one-shot you, you asshole. That's what you get for walking around in a dress.
Yeah, that's very true. It's unlike the sort of the legendary in the vanilla game.
I would have been hitting him with about 30 crossbow bolts before he went down. The legendary vanilla. But yeah, I hit him with a potion. He dropped down dead. And then because I know he turns into the ghost afterwards, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I ran away from the entrance and threw my skeleton warrior at him. And he blasted the entryway with all these fireballs, killing all of his own men.
Oh, no.
He wiped out all his own, all his own, what I call it, corrupted souls.
The corrupted, yeah.
He wiped them all out with his own fireballs. Got a cough here. Excuse me, sorry about that.
That's all right. You're still alive?
Yep, just about. So yeah, he becomes a ghost. He wipes out all his own men, and I finally have my magic back up because I have what is it? If you go to certain vendors, they have spells that you're not supposed to have, that you're not powerful enough for, but they'll sell them to you. The only problem is that I went to Calcelmo. Good old Calcelmo, right?
Yeah.
And he sold me, what was it? The Conjure Flame Atronach spell. And I'm only up to advanced spells, and a Conjuration spell of Flame Atronach is a sophisticated spell.
Really? Interesting.
And I got it, and that one, I had like 300 magicka, and to cast just one Flame Atronach was like 360 magicka.
Oh, jeez.
Without having the perks to be able to offset the cost.
Right.
So I was like, well, thank you very much. Was it nearly 4,000 gold I'll never see again.
Yeah. And it doesn't tell you before you buy, you can't read up on the stats or whatever.
Well, I could go to Google, but it doesn't tell you on the book as I'm reading what he's selling. You know, you're going, yeah, buy that. That'll save your ass. And he's like doing the old patter. Doesn't tell me the cost of it. So I'll go, all right, well, thank you very much. And then I went into the Dwarven Ruin behind him, which was an experience.
Yeah, there's a lot more spiders in that first level of it. Because I think I did that in my Requiem playthrough too. It's very Nimi is a lot more powerful, right?
Yep, those because the poisons they spit will they'll paralyze you, and then they drain life out of you for like 4 minutes. It's like 2 points per second for 4 minutes. I only have 100 life. That works out at 600 life, I think.
Yeah.
So I got to keep on healing myself, taking healing potions and things like that. But,
yeah, alchemy is really important, isn't it? I mean, I think it's my my Requiem guy is he is it Requiem where you gain the ability to learn more by leveling rather than by perk, right? Isn't that, or at least with the first? It's very early though. You can gain
with the first 2 perks.
Yeah,
you get all the things do by tasting them.
Yeah, which is really good, I think. I mean, personally, the other thing that so far it still annoys me that I don't think there's any perk mod or anything that allows you to break down a potion to learn its ingredients. And there should be.
Engineer.
Yeah, there should be. I think myself anyway, because well, it just makes sense to me. I've loaded. I always play. I try to always play with some kind of alchemy mod, and I've always liked Alchemy Redone, which has been around for a long time. But there's a relatively new one that I'm trying. I've tried out once before, and with not a whole lot of success. So I'm trying it again in this new playthrough called Complete Alchemy and Cooking Overhaul. So it's got all kinds of new stuff in it. I'll maybe I'll try to learn more about that and talk about it next time, because it is quite an overhaul. It's another Cryptopeer mod. She's the one that does the weapons and armor fixing and the complete crafting overhaul and a whole bunch of other mods. So
yeah, that complete crafting overhaul. Really, like it. Well, not really annoyed me. It just irritated me because I think to get it working exactly right or how it's supposed to be intended, you have to actually install 3 mods to get it working exactly the way she has envisioned it working. You should have that weapon and armor fixes remade, crafting,
yes.
overhaul, and then there was something other about merchants or the value of stuff or something. I can't
There's
remember
one called Trade and Barter. I use those a lot, and they work. They're seamless. I mean, I've used those 3 mods in almost every single playthrough since I discovered them. They work with Requiem, Perma. They just work. I've never had an issue that I've traced back to any of those 3. Trade and Barter is really, and the other thing is you know. You're right. It can be a little sort of not finicky, but kind of, I don't know. It's a pain in the ass to get them all set up if you want to sort of get granular with them. But otherwise, if you just sort of throw them in there and let them do their thing, they tend to work pretty well out of the box too. The only thing I change in the complete crafting overhaul pretty regularly is she has set the the number of ores needed to smelt an ingot is in the complete crafting overhaul remade by default is 5. I forget what the vanilla is. Is it 1-to-1 or 2? Is it 2? Okay, and she doesn't allow you to make it 2. You have 2 choices, 5 or 3. So I always set that back to 3. But she does also allow you to change how fast you can mine and how many ores you get per strike and stuff like that. And without making it ridiculous, I usually leave it at like vanilla, which I think is 3 ores per just whatever, but I make it faster. So it's instead of having to have 9 strikes of the pickaxe, it's 3. So you get the same number of ores, but that you would in the vanilla game, but it only takes 3 strikes, which is, nice when you're in a mine like the Kolskager mine, like you were talking about before, where there's a shit ton of gold in there. It can take an hour to
Yes, I know.
get in there and mine all that stupid ore out of there. Yeah. So that's handy. But I like those mods. Trade and Barter is cool. I like the way it changes the value of things across Skyrim, so that where they're common. Trade routes does the same thing, where items are common, they're cheap, and so you can mine whatever in the Reach and go sell it for a profit in the Rift. I like that. A certain amount of economy in the game is nice.
I like the speech tree in Requiem. Did you ever look at the speech tree in Requiem?
No.
It's all shout based.
All of it.
All of it. You can't even start it without going to speak with the Greybeards or something. Where was it?
There's no persuasion perks in there?
I don't think so. Not unless he's... oh, no, wait. He split them. Oh, he has, yes. He split them. Sorry.
Okay.
He has 2 complete separate trees, both in speech.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. I guess I never investigated, but I remember seeing that. Yeah, it's totally separate. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I got it. Yeah, so he's got Silver Tongue on the left, which I can take, and then haggling and merchant fencing, blah, blah, blah. So it's all to get money. I don't care. Well, actually, my character is based on money, but me, myself, personally, don't really care. But the speech is destructive urge. You've ingrained the meaning of Yol, knowing that fire is power given form. As long as you have meditated on the word, your Thum will wreak even greater harm among your unfortunate foes. So when you go up to Parthenax,
I was going to say, does that mean you have to have met Parthenax before you can use that?
Yeah, and then you've got Lore of the Thuum, studying shoutings of the dragon's alphabet. You can now use your Thuum more often. So you got recharge times a bit, and then what's the other one? Indomitable Force, where you have to meditate on Fus, so your Thuum does more harm. The Fus Rodar.
Yeah.
You have Engraved Fime. Oh, that's the other one. That's the I've got the name of it now. Become Ethereal.
Okay.
And let's see, you've spent time meditating on the way of the voice, unearthing more knowledge and gaining valuable insights. Thus, you can harness the might of yet another word of power. I think that's where it gives you its own speech, its own shout, or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it looks very interesting. Anyway,
Cool. Well, we're getting up near an hour or so. Before we go, have you, just on the subject of not Skyrim? How are you doing in Fallout 4? Have you gone back to it at all?
yeah, I went back and done my quests. It was it was enjoyable enough. I didn't. You see, the last update that we received, or the last DLC.
Yeah.
If you can call it that, is that I haven't used and will never use the unlike yourself and one. I have no interest in building loads and loads of stuff. So like all this stuff where you get an arena and build it and put a Deathclaw and a raider in there or something like that.
I got no interest. Yeah, I agree. I have no interest in that either. But I mean, some people do, so that's cool. But yeah, I bought that. Did you buy the season pass?
Yes, yeah, I got the season pass.
Yeah. So I finally grabbed Automatron, and I haven't really gotten far with it, but I've started to see new kinds of robots appear in the game. So
it's fine. I enjoyed the quest.
Did you?
And cool. I built myself a robot, and it was okay, and nothing too awesome. I'm now with Dance, because obviously I'm with the Brotherhood, so I'm having Dance follow me around.
Yeah, well, Harry died. When I migrated across to the new machine, that sort of reinvigorated my my Fallout 4 playing, and because.
Sorry to hear that, man.
About Harry, I can probably. Yeah. Well, he still sort of works on the laptop, but I migrated him over because, of course, his Steam Cloud saves. And he was already kind of gimpy on the laptop, and when I tried to rebuild the game on the new PC, he just didn't work. However, my Morgan character, who's Harry's brother, does work, and he's a beast. So I'm going to continue the roundtable with Morgan. He's a melee guy, but he is Brotherhood of Steel. But so I've had to change. I mentioned that to Andrew yesterday, I think.
Yeah, only the lonely Andrew.
Yeah, poor Andrew. He's the only Institute guy. I was thinking, the thing is, what I did was I looked at, because when I first started having trouble with Harry, Andrew rolled me a new character, so I looked at that character to see what its attributes and so on were going to be, and it was a he. His lover was going to be Kate, and his starting attributes were very similar to what Morgan's were, and Morgan was already hanging with Kate. He's already Brotherhood of Steel, which the new role was going to be. So I thought, well, what the heck? I'll just stick with Morgan and not start a new character. But the game looks fucking gorgeous on the PC. I've got everything running at Ultra, and I've got a nice light duty ENB preset running on it. It just looks beautiful. That's I gotta say that it's pretty nice. So
rub it in, why don't you? I'm still
on sorry.
Foxy medium settings, and Not unless I'm right up close, because I've got a couple of ultra settings on close-up textures. So unless I'm right up close to something, it just looks like a blob of colors.
Yeah, it does have a tendency to get a little cartoony sometimes, and that's one of the ENB I'm using takes some of that away, which is nice, because they did oversaturate things a little bit. I think maybe they were sort of overreacting to the especially the look of Fallout 3, which was basically whenever I think of Fallout 3, I think of green, as everything's green, So even though it's not necessarily 100% true, but. So.
There's a good mod for that.
What's that?
There's a good mod for it.
Yeah. Believe me, if there is, I've tried it. But yeah. Anyway, Harry was kind of weak because he had very, very low endurance, and he did a lot of running away, and he did a lot of building and stuff. But Morgan is just a beast. He's got the super sledge, and he's got Kabat-Zine's fang and all the other things, and so he just he hadn't done any of the. Because I haven't progressed all that far in Brotherhood of Steel. We shouldn't be talking about too much of this, but anyway, I progressed to the point where Maxon says, "Well, you should go and check out the Institute because it'll help our cause." So that's your outlet for getting part of the Sun Quest. Sorry about the fucking horn in the background if you can hear that. Somebody's honking outside. Anyway, so he had to do Morgan had to go run down into the wasteland and come back and go to the memory den and all that. But running through the wasteland, just pop out the super sledge and 2 or 3 shot the Alpha Death Claw. it's kind of nice to just run around and be a beast for a while instead of delicate Harry. So anyway.
Yeah. I had that with Kuronuma Ruji. He had 1 endurance as well, but the perk that he was given was the very first one. What's the first one?
I don't remember. I don't have it up in front of me either, so I can't remember what it is.
It's toughness. That's it. Toughness.
Oh, okay.
But he's like level 67 now or something, and the last few levels, I think, from the 50s up to the 60s, I just pumped them all into endurance. So we went from 1 endurance all the way up to 8 or 9.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So now he has oodles of of health now, so he can take a proper kick, and he doesn't even sneak anymore.
Yeah. I sort of based Morgan on one of the Fudge Muppet melee builds, and did a lot of and so he's very high, and he's got a lot of the rooted perks and toughness and adamantine skeleton and various other things, and so he's a pretty tough dude. So I did something similar where he was very low in charisma, and so the last 5 levels I put all my points into leveling up charisma so I can grab the so you can send people between settlements.
Local leader.
Yeah, local leader. Yeah. So anyway, enough Fallout talk. This was a Skyrim podcast. But anyway, it's good talking to you.
You too, sir. As always, thank you very much.
Yeah, and everybody, thanks for listening, and happy Skyrimming.
Happy Skyrimming, to coin a phrase.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Skyrim Addict. You can find all of our contact information, YouTube channel information, as well as other shows over at asapodcasting.com, including our newest show, The Fallout Feed. Special thanks to Claire Lafar for the show's artwork. You can find her stuff at etsy.com/MayaFirePrints, MayaFirePrints. And a thank you to Dan Bull for the use of his music in the Roundtable Open and Close. You can find him on YouTube or iTunes. Just search Dan Bull. Once again, thanks for listening, and later, everyone.